Thanks for checking out this haul video. So if you haven't been watching my channel recently, you do need to know that I have a vinegar syndrome problem. It's a fun problem for me, but just know that it's a problem. So I'm going to go with the first portion of what I bought from the halfway to Black Friday sale. I'm just doing the first portion because I actually got a lot, and I don't just want to go over all of them quickly in one video because I don't want to spend a lot of time and make it just one gigantic video. So I'm splitting it up. So for this one, I'm just going to show you the newest stuff that was put out by Vinegar Syndrome that I ended up buying for the halfway to Black Friday sale. So then I can, read the back of it so you get an idea what the movies are like and kind of talk about the packaging, stuff like that. And then just know that everything else I got, it's all older stuff that's been available longer. And I'll go over that stuff along with other things that I'll end up buying along the way, because that's the thing. So anyway, let's go with the first one, which I do need to put something out. That there's boobs, so I gotta block that. But Unefeatable. Okay, so what I had done is I did the mystery purchase, which they did back in March, where you could buy 2 of their mystery titles. You didn't know what they were, but they were at the super discounted rate. And they were like, this will be the cheapest you can get them. So I went ahead and did it just based off of blind faith in Vinegar Syndrome. And Unefeatable is one of them. I've just started getting into martial arts films, and Unefeatable, a lot of fun. I learned a lot about Cynthia Rothrock. I already watched it because a lot of cool special features on here, including an interview with her and a video essay about her. And then the inside's just that. But, yeah, super, super cool. There's also like a little booklet in there. And this comes with a few discs. And there's the, don't look. But anyway, yeah, got a decent amount of special features on here, so it took me a little bit to go through it. Really enjoyed the movie. It's definitely one of those, like, so bad it's good martial arts film, so if you're into that, plus, I mean, the fighting is really cool. Like, the fighting is actually well choreographed. It's super cool. The acting is just kind of ridiculous, and it's very of its time, but it's a lot of fun. So glad I ended up with Unefeatable. Big fan. Glad for that to be in my collection. So the next one I got was actually one of the films that I originally had planned on getting it at some point, and then I literally, before the halfway to Black Friday sale happened, like a week or so before that, I was like, oh crap, I don't have this movie. Do they still have it in stock? And they didn't. So they did like a reprint of it, but it's got a new like variant slipcover. And I was like, oh man, well then I have to buy it, especially because it has a slipcover, and that is Hell Comes to Frogtown. Not a horror film, so I won't be reviewing it, but a lot of fun. Has, Rowdy Roddy Piper in it. And I just realized I didn't read the back of this, but I will in a minute. Let me go through. Well, I'll just, since I thought of it, let's just go back into this. Pause on Hell Comes to Frogtown. Pause. I'm going to read the back of Unefeatable. Christy Jones, played by Cynthia Rothrock, is a street-tough member of a martial arts gang known as the Red Dragons. In an attempt to go straight and leave the gang life behind, Christy participates in mafia-run back-alley street fights in an attempt to win enough money to put her sister through college. Meanwhile, a sadistic fighter known as Stingray becomes increasingly violent while taking part in unsanctioned fights to the death. When Stingray's wife leaves him due to his increasingly aggressive behavior, Stingray loses his grip on reality and begins assaulting. YouTube doesn't like the word. Murdering and removing the eyes of any woman that resembles his wife. When Stingray turns his murderous rage on Christy's sister, Christy has no choice but to reluctantly team up with Nick, a martial arts trained detective, in an attempt to stop Stingray's rampage before more women turn up dead. Yes, so does it sound fun? It is fun. The other thing is, I live in Maryland. This was shot in Maryland, so that's cool. Anyway, sorry for the disorganization. Going back to Hell Comes to Frogtown, this is fun. I like the fact that they have sperm up here because it's all about this post-apocalyptic situation and women wanting to get his sperm. So his sperm is very important, so it's very good that's on, well, not good, but appropriate that it's on there. And then the back is just funny because, yeah, it's Frogtown. There are frog people, including frog people who have nice bodies. And that's what you end up seeing there. Then the inside, I kept it on the typical, this was the original release artwork, which looks a lot of fun. And then back when it first came out, it looked like this. So pretty similar, extremely similar. Vinegar Syndrome, original. Vinegar Syndrome, original. So yeah. This one has some fun special features. I already went through those since I'd already seen the movie before. And yeah, pretty good. Oh yeah, and then I'm gonna keep forgetting this. I'm sorry, people. I'm off. Like, work's just been this week. Anyway, in a post-nuclear Holocaust wasteland, Sam Hell, played by Roddy Piper, is like most other survivors, a nomadic scavenger roaming the bombed-out remnants of the world for food and survival gear. But Sam is also harboring a major secret that even he isn't aware of. He's the last fertile man on Earth. As unexpected pregnancies are discovered, the remnants of the government decide to capture him and, with the aid of scientist Spangle, fit him with a secure chastity belt to ensure his virility is used only when needed. After learning of a group of supposed virgins who are being held captive by frog mutant savages, Sam is sent on a rescue mission to free the women and then, of course, impregnate them. Is he up for the job? You bet. A lot of fun. I mean, Roddy Piper, if anyone had seen his performance in They Live, very similar. Actually, something I learned from the special features on this, his performance in Hell Comes to Frogtown was seen by John Carpenter, and that's how he got the role for They Live. So, it's a lot of fun. Check it out if you haven't seen it. The next one is a box set of actually 4 movies, I believe, that was selling really fast. I think they put out 5,000 of them, and by the time I purchased mine, because I was thinking about waiting on it, but I was like, ooh, this is going down pretty fast. It was at like 1,200 or somewhere in that realm. But it was a really good deal because it was like $40-some for literally 4 movies. And that's for the Piotr Zolkin's Apocalypse Tetralogy. Packaging, awesome. You know, it's got the side loading going on here. The back, super cool. Love the colors, love the design of this. It really, really pops. Love all the rats. Rats or mice, probably rats. This one has a little booklet of writings about the films. This is probably not one that I'm going to end up reviewing the films for, just because it's, from what I understand, they're not horror, they are science fiction. But I watched the trailer that they had put out for it, and everything looks amazing. Like, this looks like top-notch film. That's also a really awesome cover. Love that. And then it has listed on the back what all the films are. And yeah, it looks really cool. I'm really excited to get into this. I believe these are Polish films, if I'm not mistaken. So let's talk about this one. The late 70s and early mid-80s in Poland were a time of incredible censorship and miraculously a time of phenomenal output from Polish filmmakers. Often overshadowed on the world stage by his peers, Piotr Zolkin was a visionary pioneer in the dystopian sci-fi genre. Presented here are the 4 films that comprise Zolkin's Apocalypse Tetralogy, originally released between 1980 to 1986, arguably the busiest period for the scissors of Polish censors. Cleverly working around content restrictions, Zolkin delivers tense and disturbing sci-fi, telling fantastical and often horrific allegories of living in a corrupt bureaucracy and state and police state. From aliens to artificially created beings, from brainwashed masses and ultra-violent indulgences, Vinegar Syndrome is proud to present Piotr Zolkin's Apocalypse Tetralogy, making its worldwide Blu-ray debut. So I will read you the synopses of each of the films. We have Gollum, which is from 1980. Pernot finds himself in a police interrogation accused of a murder and unable to recall any details of the crime, or even his own life. He's released back into a world of raving lunatics and deranged scientists, murderous doctors and scientists who believe the secret of human creation is inside the walls of a cast iron oven. Pernot's odyssey to find out who he is and what it is to be human will force his path to cross with all of them. Sounds interesting. Then we have The War of the Worlds, Next Century. That was from 81, year I was born. The Martians have landed and they're not to be feared, or at least that's what TV personality Iran Idem has been telling people. Soon after their arrival, though, his apartment is ransacked and his wife kidnapped. He's tagged like a wild animal, and his nightly scripts are being changed. What Idem's eyes are seeing no longer matches what he tells audiences night after night. Are the Martians as good-natured as he believed, or is he being used in a more sinister plot that endangers the entire planet? Also sounds cool. Obi Oba, The End of Civilization. That's from 1984. The world has been ravaged by nuclear war. The planet is frozen and radiation kills anyone or anything that ventures outside of the dome. Soft is a shepherd for the last remnants of humanity who have gathered together as they await rescue from a mysterious craft known only as the Ark. He wanders among the masses performing his regular daily tasks, keeping morale from plummeting, wooing prostitutes, squashing rebellions, and sometimes feeding the hungry. But as the true and sinister nature of the Dome comes to light, Soft must ask himself if humanity is worth saving. Sounds pretty dark. Actually, all these sound dark. The trailer looked dark. And then the last one, Gaga, Glory to the Heroes. That's from 85. Scope is a prisoner on a behemoth space station and is chosen, like all his fellow prisoners, to volunteer for the exploration of faraway planets. Landing on planet Australia 458, he is given a hero's welcome with all the sex, booze, and violence that any one man can stomach. Sounds fun. But as his new caretakers push him towards even more heinous and deplorable acts, Scope finds that his freedom comes with a high price, his own violent demise, broadcast live for the viewing pleasure of Australia 458's inhabitants. Is there a way out, or is Scope's fate sealed? So as you can see, this seems like a very, very interesting pack of movies. And like I said, the price was really good. And the trailer looked phenomenal. Like, the quality of this looks great. And, Vinegar Cinema restores films in such a great way that they just look amazing. So, excited to check out that one. Then, I have the next one, which is second to last one for this video. This was the other one that was in that kind of like blind mystery pack along with Unefeatable, and that is Night Screams. So, love the artwork on this one. This one looks super fun. And the back, also intriguing there. Seems like an 80s slasher situation. Tonight their cries will fall on dead ears. This is a 4K. This is what the original artwork looked like. Not great, but I kept it on there. And then on the inside, yeah, just a few discs, The HD, and then the 2 Blu-rays. So, let's get into this one. Whoop. High school football star David has just won a 4-year scholarship to the University of Oklahoma, and with his parents away for the night, is planning to mark the occasion with a party for his buddies and girlfriend. But as the evening's festivities get underway at a local nightclub, 2 violent fugitives take refuge in the basement of David's home. When the action moves over to David's place, it quickly becomes clear that someone is intent on spoiling the celebration, as one by one, the revelers get picked off and butchered in various gruesome ways. But are the stowaway crooks responsible for the carnage, or is this the work of someone even more unhinged? Sounds fun. I'm all about this. There's a bunch of information on here. It says that it has an embarrassment of inventive kills incorporating electrified hot tubs, bodies crushed under cars, death by poisonous fumes, and faces shoved into hamburger grills, alongside more standard methods of hacking and slashing. Interesting. Seems like a lot of fun. I'm all about it. Cannot wait to get into Night Screams. And that's obviously the first one that I've shown you that I will be reviewing for my channel. Don't know when I'll get to it, but I'm doing it. And then this last one is the most amazing packaging. And it is one that I've already reviewed. It's one that I had been considering purchasing just on DVD, because that's the last release that it had. But I'm so glad I held off and ended up with this, and that is Lamberto Bava's A Blade in the Dark. Look at how thick this is. That is so thick. In comparison to my hand, look at how thick this is. There's a better way I could do this, but it's so thick. It's huge. This is one movie, but there's so many special features on this. It's ridiculous. Okay, so A Blade in the Dark on the back as well. Now, if you open it up, it's cut crossways. This is the notorious scene, so you get to see it where the, just the knife is in the hand, and then when the hand's been ripped by the knife. And then with this one on the back, also very cool, she's hiding, another scene in the film, and then you take it off. Oh, and a knife comes popping through. This is fun. I love that they did this. I love that they have the artwork being fun on both sides. So then actually getting into it, this is another one that has one of these booklets. So like essays and writings about the film A Blade in the Dark, which I will end up reading at some point. Don't know when I'll end up getting around to that. But this is a fun Giallo film. I'm all about Giallo. If you don't know that, I've watched over 100 Giallo films, Giallo and Giallo-esque films at this point. And I actually have a playlist on my channel of close to 100 at this point, movies reviewed. So then on the inside, I got to make sure. I know there's boobs on the back. I'll cover those up. But here it is on the inside. This is the cover I'm used to seeing. And then on the back, there you go. That's the Italian version. Sorry. Got to cover up the boobs, Okay, and then on the inside, I left it on the boobs one. And then there's so many discs in here. Like, look at this. Boom. All the discs. And this one's 4K, obviously. So what I'm going to do is put this back on for right now and just pump it up a little bit. Yeah, so you're not... Wait, you are going to see it. I'll have to have it facing down, but anyway. Bruno, an up-and-coming film composer, has been hired to write the score to a new horror movie. The film's director, Sandra, suggests that he move into a spooky and secluded villa so as to get extra creative inspiration. However, life begins to imitate art as a vicious killer starts bumping off anyone and everyone who happens to pay Bruno a visit. As each death leaves more clues while opening up more possibilities as to potential suspects, Bruno begins to believe that the film he's been hired to work on may itself be the key to unlocking the mystery. Yeah, first international hit for Lamberto Bava. It was originally conceived of as a TV miniseries, apparently, they say. Classically structured Giallo, albeit one taking stylistic cues from, and then booming slasher craze, complete with an array of elaborate and bloody murders. The film features, so it's just so much on these discs, too. So much. I knew about this one. This is one I pre-ordered. I got this one also in March on the pre-order when I bought those mystery ones. But this packaging exceeds expectation. Vinegar Syndrome, well known for awesome presentation with these things, but they just even better. They do so well. But anyway, that's what I'm going over for this one. Like I said, I bought a bunch more, but I'll have other videos for those so I can individually go through them and kind of read you the synopses for all of them, which is a fun time. But let me know what you've picked up from Vinegar Syndrome recently. Go ahead and put it in the comments. Or what's your favorite Vinegar Syndrome release that you've either just seen or that you own, favorite packaging, all that stuff. Would love to talk to you about it down in the comments. Do me a quick favor, hit subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I would appreciate that very much. Also hit the notification bell button if you want to know when I'm putting up new videos. But regardless, thanks for taking your time to check this video out. And until next time, keep it brutal.